Suffering begets suffering. Pain begets pain. And violence begets violence. To kill a human being is considered to be one of the greatest crimes a person can commit, whether it be religious reasons or whether it be from social standards. The death penalty should not be reinstated because it costs more money, it is another killing, and it is inhumane to kill a person in the ways that are practiced. The first thing to look at is to sentence someone to death costs a lot more money, causes the state to spend a lot more money than it would be to sentence them for life. For example, the state has to deal with all of the spending that has to be taken care of for trials and for all the waiting time that there is. Trials, the defendant can appeal many, many times over just so that they can either stall time or they can get a different sentence. Or they don't have a lawyer and the state has to hire them a lawyer. Plus the prosecutors need to also be hired and taken care of so that they can make sure that the due process is taken care of. It takes a lot of time and a lot of money, and it takes years before any gain can be taken care of. Now, the death penalty is also another killing. The death penalty is usually used in the circumstances of a person committing murder, whether it be like many people or whether it be like one person. There's also treason, but but to cause a person's life to be ended, whether it be out of justice, is still another killing. So when the executioner flips the switch or presses the button or does whatever he does in whatever circumstances that the killing is, they are also committing murder. And therefore, the executioner also needs to be put to death. And it's a never-ending cycle of deaths over and over and over again because it's still killing. Now, the process of killing a person that is commonly used is in fact humane. The main thing that is being used right now is lethal injection, which is essentially poison. They use 3 different chemicals, one that stops your heart, with your pulsing, your beat, your circulation, one that stops your breathing, and one that stops electrical function in your body. There's also the electric chair, which there's a lot of things that can go wrong with that as well. Like, for example, the sponge could not be too wet, and they would essentially cook themselves, and they'd still be alive throughout the entire process. There's also hangings, which don't kill the person right away. It snaps their neck, and the person's alive for a few seconds afterwards, and they're going through a lot of pain. Or there's circumstances where if they are hung, it'll just stretch out their neck, and they won't die, and they'll be hanging there for days until the rope snaps. So that's also very inhumane. And those are just a few examples of things that are used in common practices for killing. In conclusion, the death penalty, while some may support it, some may oppose it, it in fact is a bad thing. It costs the state way too much money to take care of, and a lot of time, and it's just a bad thing to deal with. It's also another killing. Therefore, it's something that just begets more violence and more pain and suffering for the families of the person that's being killed. And the executioner should be killed as a result. And it is very inhumane in the ways that they practice how to kill a person.